Hi everybody. I'm here today to talk to you about the Rougarou. So the Rougarou is a legendary creature that is also known as Louisiana's werewolf. So to get into the history of this creature, we have to first start by talking about the loup-garou. Now, the loup-garou is a creature from France. It actually means werewolf in French. And in the 16th century, people in France would blame various crimes on the loup-garou. Things from like a child going missing all the way to somebody like randomly breaking into your house. They would say it was the loup-garou. So villagers would capture people that they thought were turning into the loup-garous, and they would put them on public trial. So these people would be people that they found wandering around in the woods, or people that they thought were acting strangely. So once the people were on public trial, the public would be asked if they thought that this person was a loup-garou. And most people would say yes, because they were afraid that they would be tried as a loup-garou or a witch if they didn't say yes. So these people were generally convicted. So this is a lot like the witch trials. Some of the interesting things that people would say about the loup-garou was they would tell their kids that if they didn't listen, the loup-garou was going to come and get them. The Catholics also believed that if they did not follow the rules of Lent for 7 years, they would turn into a loup-garou. So this is some kind of interesting history. And then when the French migrated to Canada and the United States, they took this legend with them. So it kind of changed to suit the area that they moved to or the language that they were speaking, wherever they moved, but the legend remained quite similar. So when people arrived in the greater New Orleans area, they took this creature, this legend with them, and it was kind of slightly altered. The name went from loup-garou to Rougarou, and to suit the Cajun dialect. So the Cajun legends of the Rougarou say that if Catholics don't follow the rules of Lent, the Rougarou will hunt them down. So it's very similar to what they believed in France, except in this case, the Rougarou would hunt them down instead of them turning into one. Some people also believe that the Rougarou was a human being under a 101-day curse that was placed on them by a witch doctor or a voodoo priestess, and that this curse could only be broken if they turned somebody else into a Rougarou. So it's much like the werewolf story in that a person turns into the Rougarou at night. So there is a way to protect yourself from the Rougarou, and that is to place 13 small objects at your door, because as the legend goes, Rougarou cannot count past 12. So when a person turns into one, they forget how to count past 12, and they think that it's because they're more focused on midnight and the moon and things like that, so they can't remember how to count past 12. So the idea is that they will see these 13 objects, they will try to count them, they will get confused once they get to 12 and there's another object, and they'll just continue trying to count them until the sun comes up, and then they have not been able to get into your house because they've been distracted by counting the pennies or the small objects that you've placed at your door. So that's kind of neat. The Rougarou is still very popular today in Louisiana. There are still sightings to this day of the Rougarou, and people still firmly believe in it. So, I mean, is this just a legend that was brought from France to different places in the world and people are kind of interpreting it how they want? Or is there actually a creature that is around that is doing these things that can turn people into basically a werewolf? I mean, I don't know. I guess that's up to you to decide. But if you have any cool stories about the Rougarou, or if you have any questions, please let me know. And otherwise, I will be back on another day with another video about something totally different. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.